Acid music has had some commercial success. With records like this one, We Call It Acid by D-Mob getting into the top 10. But the link with drugs has hindered their chances of further success. Gary Haseman, singer with D-Mob, says that since the controversy, 20 engagements have been cancelled.
The musical phenomenon, only for the headstrong, makes you want to dance, move feet.
Their video was shown twice on Top of the Pops and was then banned. The producer banned all records with the word acid in the title or lyrics.
The lyrics actually say, if you thought it was a drug, now you know you're wrong. When we were making the record, we done this because we kind of saw the drug overtones which were about to happen, in a sense. I've never taken drugs. I don't even drink, so why am I going to make a record telling people to go and take drugs? No, I don't do that kind of thing.
I feel sorry for the kids who are out there, who are drug-free, who like acid house, or whatever you call it, house, whatever, and they like to dance, wave their hands in the air, and their parents thinking, God almighty, are my kids on drugs? And that is only from a certain newspaper.
What would you say to reassure parents who are worried about letting their kids go out at night now?
Well, if you've brought your children up properly, and you love your children, and you know your children, you'll know if they take drugs or not. You don't need acid house to make them take drugs.
The ban on Top of the Pops gave the impression that the BBC had banned acid house music completely, making it even more unacceptable to parents.
I can categorically say that the BBC has not banned acid house music, and in particular Radio 1 certainly hasn't banned acid house music. What has happened is that the Top of the Pops, the BBC's premier pop show, has decided not to play tracks that have references to the word acid. We, on the other hand, decided to carry on playing acid house music because we've been aware of this for some 14 months. It's almost a bit of a storm in a teacup, really, after quite such a time. And we understand what the true meaning behind acid house music and the term acid is in this particular genre of music. Is it, once more, a cynical exploitation of youth culture by the media, merely to generate headlines to sell newspapers?
Some newspapers have called acid house music a sinister and evil cult which lures young people into drug taking. The message is certainly getting across.
What do you know about acid house music?
There's meant to be a drugs-related craze. Seems to be the most worrying thing.
And where did you find that out?
That was in the paper.
Do you think it's anything to do with a certain religion, do you think?
No,
is anything
it?
like that?
No, it's more to do with a kind of a drug, isn't it? It's a drug.
Yeah, well, those that take it ought to be ashamed of themselves.
I presume they do frenzied dancing, that kind of thing. Probably out of control, not behaving like normally they would, because they're under the effects of the drug.
I've just read about it in the newspapers that acid house music, I assumed it was something to do with the drug scene.
It must affect the brain in some way.
Unless it's just the music that does it.
All them lights flashing don't do you any good either, do it? I wouldn't even go in the pub where them lights are.
Oh, no,
they drive you mad, don't they?
It's one of the biggest hypes that have come on the music scene in recent years. And it's the peripheral stories that go with it. Drugs, sex, sensation.
Ted Hines is the Sunday People's acid house correspondent. He's one of many popular newspaper journalists who find it an irresistible story.
You're now dealing with parties, 2 or 3 every weekend in both London, Birmingham, Manchester. 2,000-3,000 kids at a time. There's a great potential there, a lot of money involved, and I think money is the key to a lot of the people who feed off acid house, the people who organize acid house parties, and the drug barons, pushers, peddlers, who flock in its wake.
Unfortunately, the popular press has moved into the sensationalism of the drug and the scene that it's associated with, and extended the coverage. And in extending the coverage, it's actually advertising. I mean, Saatchi couldn't have done a better job, in essence. And it's the classic problem. Young people being told by adults that they shouldn't do something are more likely to go and do it than not do it. And I think that's the dilemma the popular press has to confront for itself.
The hype is not from us. The hype is there in the acid house music itself. It will come and go. As I said, next year there could be something else. We are only reacting, not acting on the stories.
It was this story that started the present outcry over acid house music. It appeared in The Sun, one of the most enthusiastic opponents of the craze. It was ironic 2 months later to find The Sun still warning readers about drugs, but exploiting the success of the music by selling acid house T-shirts.
We were approached by The Sun to design a T-shirt for the design column. They asked us to add smileys to the design. They gave a full page in The Sun, and this is the promotion here, with the headline, "It's groovy, cool, it's our acid house T-shirt." So they promoted it as Acid House. We were totally surprised. We didn't expect them to promote it as Acid.
And then what happened?
They cancelled the order a couple of days after the promotion. The order was cancelled. I think it's hypocritical. I really do.
Are you ready, people? Get down tonight. Don't forget the warehouse party. Don't be late. Ow! Get down tonight.
It's not just newspapers which have angered fans of acid house music. A report on News at 10 annoyed them so much that they've made a record mimicking it.
You want to dance?
Stop it.
Have a good time?
Stop it.
You want to dance?
Stop it. The psychedelic 60s.
Have a good time?
Stop it.
You want to dance?
Stop it.
Have a good time?
Stop it. The psychedelic 60s.
The acid house.
Stop it.
A new culture for young people, the acid house.
Stop it.
Sweeping the country's nightclubs. The acid house.
Stop it.
Kids who are enjoying themselves.
The acid house.
So far, 3 newspapers have named 3 different people as the Mr. Big of Acid House. One of them, Tony Colston Hayter, has been involved in the organisation of 6 warehouse parties. He's so unhappy at the way the media has reported acid house music that he's producing a video which he believes will set the record straight.
Well, the first time I walked into a really properly happening warehouse party, it just totally blew my mind. I couldn't believe that this quantity of people could all be dancing together and nobody looking over their shoulder at someone else or thinking, what does he think? And nobody getting drunk and brawling and whatever. The actual tabloid press have really come up with some outrageous fantasies in their stories that just really don't happen. I mean, sex romps, wild drug-taking parties, it's just all laughable. I mean, everyone knows who was at that party. All the police officers who came and looked at my party, the 2,000 people that were there, all know that this is total lies.
The police attitude to warehouse parties changed as press interest in them escalated. 4 weeks ago, Colston Hayter's party in Greenwich attracted 3,000 young people. It also attracted hundreds of police.
Well, I think they're quite serious about what they're doing.
You can't do that. You can't do that. How can we do that? Well, we're all enjoying ourselves.
Yeah, we can see that.
Yeah, so why aren't you letting it go on?
Because we're enjoying the music. It's all about the music.
It's all about the music.
The whole scene. And the
And
only
just
reason,
the only reason
that you're sitting here now, the honest truth is the only reason you're sitting here now is because of the Sun that have literally developed their own story.
I'm sure you know nothing about the rock business. I mean, I don't know much about police law, but the fact of the matter is there are very lights, sound crews, lasers, spotlights, heaters, people to take cloaks, people's coats in a cloakroom. There is free refreshment, there's security, there's fire exit.
We don't want to discuss the whole matter with you.
No, of course
We've
not.
told you our point of view. Excuse me. And that's the reason why we're acting, as I've said. And one would hope, as reasonable people, as we are trying to be reasonable with you.
We are as well. That's exactly what we're just...
I mean, okay. Together we can come to a resolution.
That's why we're waiting for this phone to ring.
We have tried to, we've given a little bit on our part.
Yeah, exactly. We
so
really
that you have a
appreciate
chance
Right.
to do what you said that you were going to do.
That's exactly what we're doing.
But I mean, to assist us to move these people from these premises to a safer area.